Good afternoon. My name is Barbara Marumoto. I'm in the House of Representatives from the Kamiki, Kahala, Wailai area. Governor Abercrombie had advocated taxing pensions, state, county, business pensions, military government pensions for incomes as low as $37,500. And excuse me, I thought that was really low, and I called it too cruel. He took issue with it, but unfortunately it did not pass. The House changed the bill so that it would affect only persons with individuals with incomes over $100,000. The Senate didn't buy this along at all, and neither did the AARP. But apparently it's going to come up again next year, and along with a lot of other tax proposals to address our deficit. So I just want to let you know that no matter how big our deficit is, this is one particular bill that I will oppose. We sponsored a briefing on Hawaii's debt crisis recently, and the news was worse than we expected. That's because we found out many figures in the budget and the financial area are not reported. So we don't get a real good picture of our financial situation. I think this will be changed shortly. For instance, the state has an annual audit report, and it lists a liability of almost $1 billion for the state retirement system for unrelated compensation. And we found out the actual liability is closer to $9 billion. The state employee health system lists no liabilities, but this Institute for Truth in Accounting estimates our debt for the health fund at $5.1 billion. The total unfunded pension liability plus the EUTF health cost amounts to a staggering $22 billion or $25,000 for each man, woman, child in Hawaii. Yesterday's advertiser, there was an op-ed, Colbert Matsumoto reported that the ERS unfunded liability is $7.1 billion and the EUTF was underfunded by $14.7 billion in 2009. Whatever the difference, it spells a big headache for Hawaii's taxpayers. The Director of Budget and Finance, Calvert Young, said the state hopes to issue bonds for construction projects, but he hasn't been able to do this yet because the audit for 2010 has not been done. I hope it's been done since his talk. In addition to the debt crisis that burdens each person in the state with $25,000 of debt per person, our budget is facing a $1 billion shortfall. So I just want to let you know, despite all our problems, I am going to fight the pension tax and as many other taxes as possible that impact our seniors. Thank you.
Thanks, Representative.
It's obvious that there has to be more revenue. I'd like to hear from each one of you your ideas on what you think would be a good way for revenue enhancement and what the source of the revenue would be from.
This newspaper article, the headline reads, Medicare swindlers appeal, then persist. And you know, Medicare is a big problem as far as funding. It's a boon for many of us, and you know, I just had cataract surgery, so that was really great. But apparently, people are swindling. There's a lot of providers that don't provide the service, and then they say they do, and they take the money and they run, so what happens is that there's a contracted group that goes out and finds these swindlers, and they report it to Medicare, but then there's no follow-up. There's another group that's supposed to follow up, but then there's Medicare doesn't inform them. So these people just go ahead and apply for another contract with Medicare, and they just keep going and going and going, and they're not getting caught. So I know, we know some people who have been, but here's one way that we could really get some more money. I don't think gambling is the answer, even if we instituted. When do we see profits? 3, 4 years from now? Maybe too late. I consider the general excise tax very regressive, because most of the poor spend most of their income on rent, which is GET tax, food, medical expenses. So it really impacts on the older person, the sicker person, and the poorer person. So that would be my number one no vote, really. I'm open to other votes, but again, taxing the rich, you remember that we have the highest income tax rate in the country, and a lot of states don't have any. 2 of my closest friends just are planning to move to Nevada, where there's no income tax. California has a tax on wealthy people, but it's lower than ours. It's under 11%, and ours is 11%. Theirs doesn't kick in until $1 million, and ours kicks in at $100,000. So we will see movement on the part of our wealthier people.